Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at the crossroads of an important time for our island. As the Guam buildup begins in earnest, we should look past the horizon to envision what our island could be like 10, 20, or many more years beyond.
Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo said that a central part of facing the future is dealing with Guam's political status in the present.
One of the first steps, maybe the most important step, is to resolve our political status through a legitimate act of Chamorro self-determination.
She then went on to defend herself for two things that have brought her under serious criticism as of late. First was her handling of war reparations, something that she has yet to push through Congress despite making some major compromises.
Begrudgingly, I agreed to eliminate the payments to descendants of survivors who suffered personal injuries during the occupation of Guam. But I didn't do so until I returned to Guam to ask many of the survivors.
Despite this compromise, Bordallo said the measure was shot down by a small group of fiscal conservatives who now control Congress, something Bordallo admits will make it even more difficult to get war reparations passed. Nevertheless, she pledged to try again. However, the topic that has drawn her the most criticism as of late is this year's Defense Authorization Act, a law that contains in it provisions for the return of Navy water infrastructure at an estimated cost of $300 million. It also requires that the Navy hold a position on the CCU.
During the legislative process, two changes were made that I argued against during committee deliberations. They were not in my provision. The defense bill did not go through the regular conference process, and we did not have the opportunity to make further changes to this provision. I apologize if some senators felt that I did not highlight these provisions in my discussions with the legislature, and in retrospect, we could have had a fuller discussion on these issues. But I would emphasize that I agree with Governor and Senator Guthridge that Guam ratepayers should not have to pay for the integration and the consolidation of the two systems. Offsetting with unreimbursed compact impact costs is one way to ensure that there is no direct payment from GovGuam to the Navy. I agree with you completely that the Navy should not sit as a voting member of the CCU. And Governor, you stated that to make your point, you are willing to walk with Senator Atta. Well, so am I. I will walk with you and every member of this legislature to FENA to show our unity and to help bring about the end to the final vestige of former naval governance on Guam.